All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of All Gen Gamers. We're recording this today on Tuesday, July 31st. And tonight I am joined by my good friends, Metal Jesus Rocks. What's up, Metal Jesus?
Not much, man.
As well as Gamester81. What's up, Gamester?
What's up, Pete? What's going on?
Not much. As well as Jason, the EMU Review Heine.
What up, Pete?
Jason?
How you doing?
Pretty good. And tonight we are joined by someone who has been on the podcast before, but we love him so much we wanted to bring him back. And that is Josh, Games of War. What's up, Josh?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Pretty good. So for those of you that, for those of the listeners that aren't familiar with your channel, why don't you go ahead and tell them briefly about how they can find your channel, what kind of videos you make, what kind of games you're into, and what your favorite game is of all time.
All right. You can find me on YouTube, Games of War, games with a Z, all one word. Yeah, I guess I could say if you like Sega, then come to my channel, because I'm a Sega fanboy at heart. As well as, peppered in with some RPG love, some lesser known gems, if you will, for the Sega systems. Now, I haven't been active on YouTube too much lately. I've been trying to put out at least a video every 2 to 3 weeks. My schedule at work got changed, and it's been a nightmare, but I'm trying to keep it going.
I know Josh has very similar taste in games as I do, and anytime I talk to him on Skype or on YouTube or watch one of his videos, I always end up on eBay somehow searching for a game, because it's like we're one for one in terms of our game taste for the most part. So highly recommended channel. And what would you say, Josh, is your favorite game of all time?
I'd have to say the Lunar series on the Sega CD, preferably. I enjoy the PlayStation versions, but the Sega CD originals will always be my favorite, due to the fact that in the PlayStation versions they changed a lot of stuff around. They changed the storyline. They totally butchered the soundtracks. I mean, in terms of like cinematic quality and other things, obviously the PlayStation version has better visuals and better quality animation and things like that. But I much prefer the Sega CD originals.
What's your opinion on the PSP port?
I think that's pretty good. The load times are a bit
Crazy.
It's kind of a pain in the ass when you walk in. It kind of discourages walking in like buildings and towns and stuff, because the load times take so long. And that's one of the charming things about the Working Designs games, is that anytime you talk to an NPC or other, they just have such funny things to say. So, you kind of want to walk into all the houses and stores and talk to everybody and, see what kind of funny piece of dialogue they have. But in the PSP version, the load times are they're a little much, so it kind of discourages all the exploring. But, I think I like the PSP version better than the PlayStation, I would say. And, it's a shame that they're not going to port over Eternal Blue to the PSP. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, it's getting a little late in the PSP's lifespan now. I think it's on its last legs. The last release in terms of games that gamers should care about is probably Growlancer, that just came out yesterday, and that's it. I think the PSP is basically done with physical releases. It's sad to say, unless they just decide to spring one up on us, but for the most part it'll probably just be digital downloads, if anything.
Have they announced officially if they're going to stop supporting the PSP?
Not that I know of, but in terms of releases and schedule of games coming out, it's done. The last game that's interesting, it just came out yesterday, and that's it.
It really feels like it when you walk into a GameStop, doesn't it? When they're doing 2 for 1 on all of them.
Right.
It just doesn't feel like it's well supported at retail right now.
Here's a question for you guys, actually. What would you say is your favorite PSP game that you own?
Oh, I gotta look. I have a ton that I love.
I've been playing my PSP forever, to be honest.
That's a tough question to answer. I mean, I could say all the Ys games, the Legend of Heroes. I could say all the Sting RPGs, Riviera, Yggdra Union, the newly released Gungnir. I even love Puzzle Quest, Tales of Eternia, Final Fantasy, Valkyrie Profile. I mean, it's got so many good RPGs. It's tough to narrow it down just to one game.
I think my choice is a launch game, as simple as it may be, but I still absolutely love the original Luminous. Yeah, like that game was so addicting, and it's one of those games you can go back to and just play once in a while. It's a little bit, tiny bit obsolete now because of the Vita version, but the soundtrack in the first one is just still so good. And that was a game where I'd play it, the first day I had it, I played it for like 8 or 9 hours straight. And I went to bed that night, and all I can see in my mind was like blocks dropping and trying to form like, combos and stuff. And I'm not the only person this happens to. Other people that play Luminous for long periods of time say the same thing. All you see for the rest of the day and the night is like blocks and doing combos. And it's just such a simple, addictive puzzle game. And I'm not huge in the puzzle games, but Luminous is one I definitely like.
Mm-hmm. That was an awesome game when it came out. I think for me, I really love the SOCOM games, surprisingly. I really like the Fireteam Bravo games, played them to death. And also the Tactical Strike game was a pretty cool take on SOCOM as well. Did you play those?
As big of a SOCOM fan as I am, I did not play any of the PSP games because I played so much SOCOM on the PS2 that I could never imagine playing SOCOM with one joystick. Mm-hmm. And Zipper didn't make them, so I kind of... The series did have a really big following on the PSP, but when they were coming out, I was playing the ones on PS2, so I didn't really have a reason to play the PSP versions.
Did you ever play any of the Siphon Filter games on the PSP?
I have not, no.
Those are excellent as well. And similar thing, they're third person, and so it's kind of hard to imagine playing with only one thumbstick, but really well made, and I actually really like them. But I didn't play the ones on the PS1, so I don't really have them to compare to, but I love those games.
I really like the God of War game that they had for it.
Yeah, that was good.
How many?
There were 2.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy for me, hands down. The Asian cram school or whatever.
I thought you were going to say Wipeout and be serious, you bastard.
Wipeout is good.
I have Parappa the Rapper on the PSP.
No, nice.
Kick Punch. It's
Kick
all the month.
Punch. Yeah.
Actually, the Metal Slugs anthology on the PSP is pretty cool too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's cool.
So Josh, I have a question for you, buddy.
Shoot.
So we appreciate you being on the show. You went to great lengths to be on the show. You were cruising home, but I have a question for you. We're gonna play Guess That Sound. What is it? What is this? What is that? What was that?
That was my drive home from work this evening.
Now, we don't mean to put salt in the wounds, but why don't you explain kind of what happened here?
Okay, so it's about 9:45. I'm like, shit, I gotta get out of here. So I hop in the Games Mobile, and I'm flying down back road in Pontiac, and there's a stop sign that I know of coming up, and it's basically like one of those things where I'm just gonna run it. I'm in a hurry, I gotta get gas, smokes, and I just blow right through it. And the one time that I've ever seen a cop on the corner there just happens to be tonight. And he pulled me over, and this guy, how sometimes you can get a cool cop where, oh, how you doing this evening? Talk to you, be kind of cool. This guy was like, do you know why I stopped you, sir? Can I please have your... this guy was just straight as an arrow. He wasn't pulling any punches. So he didn't let me off with a warning or anything cool. Just slapped me with it.
Nice. You didn't name drop that you were going to be on the All Gen Gamer podcast.
Sometimes that works. Sometimes it doesn't.
You're going to be talking to Pete Dorr. Come on.
Yeah, he wasn't having it, man.
He was like, oh, I'm sub to those guys. Yeah, go, keep moving. Well, we're sorry to hear about that, but we appreciate you being on, of course.
How much did it cost you, buddy?
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be $125 if I pay it within 14 days. $165 if paid after.
Ooh,
oh my gosh,
that sucks.
A lot of times you can go and fight it, can't you? Like,
yeah.
Did you
with
do
this
it?
With this one, I'd have to set up a court date and try to prove that I did stop or something. I don't know, some BS. It probably wouldn't be worth it.
Yeah.
it's funny. I don't know if I mentioned the story or not, but I was up visiting Johnny in Canada. I was getting home. Did I tell you guys the story? How I got pulled over?
I don't think we've heard it.
Okay, so I went up to see Rodman and Johnny up in Canada. Had a couple beers, love Stella. It's good stuff. And, we hung out. On the way home, going back down to the States. And I'm literally like 2 miles away from my brother's place. And I'm on the freeway. I get pulled over. And the cop asked me, same kind of thing, straight as an arrow, just, license registration. It's a rental car, So I get my rental agreement and my license and stuff. And he's like, have you been drinking? And at this point, it's been like 3 hours since I had a beer, but I felt to be the good guy and tell him the truth, and I had been drinking, and which I've learned my lesson. Don't say that even if you have. But he's like, well, I'm gonna have to give you a breathalyzer. I'm like, oh shit.
Oh my God.
Because I'm here for work, right? And it's a rental car, and I'm like, think to myself, man, if I get blow over, I'm fucked, So he like seriously makes me wait like 10, 15 minutes, but it felt like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Then he comes in, gives me a breathalyzer, and again, he makes me wait like another 10, 15 minutes.
You're on the hot seat.
I'm on the hot seat, sweating balls and shit. Man, I was sober as a fucking arrow right there, right? But no, sure enough, I was fine. He gave me a speeding ticket because I was going fast, which I'm like, at that point, I'm like, dude, whatever, give me the speeding ticket.
I'll take that. Yeah.
I'll take that. Whatever. And I ended up getting a lawyer and fighting it, got it waived away. Long story short, but it didn't go on my record or anything like that. But it was crazy, man. I mean, the nerves, my heart was like, just crazy.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than getting pulled over, man. It just sucks.
It does suck, man. Well, I feel for you, man, and thanks for sacrificing the night, and hopefully it doesn't bring your night down.
Nah, it's all good.
He didn't come running up to you to the window and just be like, stop, stop, stop. Make sure to follow us, the All Gen Gamers podcast, on Facebook and Twitter. Subscribe to us on YouTube and in iTunes. And don't forget about those iTunes ratings, guys. We appreciate those. And for all other info, links, and our forum, please visit www.allgengamers.com.